Welcome back, guys. The long promised Elephant Forest match is here. Finally, I got some good footage that wasn't corrupted or just mediocre, I think. Here we were playing Elephant Forest versus Discard Dragon, one of the reigning decks since BP1. You can find the deck lists down below, as always. And here, my opponent is a very devoted Dragon player, and a long time since I played him, really, but Dragon is a very popular deck around my parts, so I get some experience with the matchup pretty easily. My hand was a little bit bad, to be honest. I mulliganed and didn't see a very good hand. 2 elves plus the Sukuna and an elephant. Pretty bricky hand, and I needed some hits after he killed the Sukuna on turn 1. But this deck has a lot of ways to play each card and each hand, so it ain't that bad, really. As you can see, I'm able to just find another 1-drop luckily and just get on playing with the elves. A 5/5 elf is my goal, to be able to do some damage. I can get them to 6/6 without the Intangible Virtue Amulet, the new one from BP4. But a 5/5 is hard to deal with, not for Dragon necessarily, but in general. The Momosume cards are good for bouncing and healing, but in this match I don't really bounce them very much, I don't loop them. I know that it is a popular use for them to just keep bouncing each other to build a pillow fort of health, so you can be safe. I didn't know the exact list that he was playing at this moment. I didn't know if he was on Discard Dragon like heavily, or maybe packing it with some Genesis Dragons and things like that to close the game, so I was kind of testing the waters. I didn't know if he was playing maybe a PTK version. That's the great thing about Discard Dragon this season, that you can really play it any way you want. You can mix and match with the different archetypes, and the overall win rate won't bulge that much. But Ogre, Cap and Rico are always the best things to do, really, with Forte. So that's the one thing that I think he will play. Here I used one to protect the elf. Maybe if he hasn't any 5 damage spell, I can protect her by just killing the dragon, so Cassiopeia is a good drop here, but I get punished by a conflag. But well, if the conflag is out, I can storm the board maybe a little bit and just play better. The Cassio doesn't have many good targets against dragon, I fear. Maybe you can get an evil ringers if they play them, but the majority of bodies are large enough that I don't get to be a value-oriented Cassio player that can bounce her or something like that. Here I'm trying to get a combo 3 with Sukuna because I top decked Fashionista. So again, not using the bounce on the Yuma Musume card, just a 2-drop to count for my Sukuna Evo, a 6-mana turn. Just very usual but very powerful 5 damage storm, really. And that's the thing I like most about Fashionista, is that she's very flexible. You can either use it to pump damage or to just make the trades favorable for you, maybe shrinking something. And here at this point, knowing that a conflag was down, I was quite safe or quite sure about myself, just playing some different bodies on the board and knowing that maybe not all of them could be easily answered. And here I see the Phoenix, the first thing of the new set I see here, just knowing that maybe he will be playing the Dragon Youth Feast too, so removal heavy deck. The Phoenix deals 2 damage to anything on attack after it evolves, so a good clear. Just killing the Fashionista, dealing 2 damage back, 2 damage on the Momosume card, so she's weaker maybe for another attack or if I want to trade. and 5 damage to Sukuna incoming, just to clear it again. So he isn't pumping any damage into me, which makes me feel safe against Fortes, but I'm getting low on cards, and my hand right now is pretty terrible. I have, I think, 2 elephants, so the only thing I can really do is use them for a little bit of storm and hope that I can buffer my draws in a way that I can maybe get some hits. The good thing about this build I'm playing is that I'm playing some consistency cards, not as explosive. I'm playing Dumdell and Dumdell, I think it's they are called, just the twins of BP3, just to get some more 3-drops. I mean 1-drops, and just cycling my deck faster. So it isn't the A plan nor the B plan to play the twins, but if you have nothing else to do, if your hand is bricky, they are very good, and going second with Evo points, they are pretty smooth as a 3 damage 2-drop that draws a card, so I like them very much. I know that in some ways the deck could be more explosive and just doing higher combos with other cards in their place, but I like having a good game plan most of the time and not a great one sometimes, a very bad one other times. So the Dragon Flute, getting some dragons out, discarding the Feast, and right now the coast is clear for him. He can start developing. And this time I'm thinking that he's very low, I have an elephant, so maybe I can manage to do something with maybe a 1-drop or just playing it really. But Civil will be getting him some health, and a Bellringer just stops my tracks. He has been sandbagging her for a long time, just knowing how to play the matchup and knowing that another elephant will be a problem. And here it comes, the top deck that saved the day and smoothed out my game. Just 3 damage to kill that Bellringer, get me a 1-drop. Here I was thinking about getting either Intangible Virtue or Harvest Season, and I'm not using the 0 mana 1/1s much. I'm not aiming to do a high combo at this point on the game, because I already played 2 Sukunas, Fashionista, and some other cards that feed off the combo. So for a big elephant, I opted for a Harvest Season to just keep drawing and buffer my health a little bit, finally, with the 2-drop from Uma. And here I play the other 2-drop to bounce the Dumdell D, because I'm thinking that his board is pretty clogged. He has already 3 cards on play, and my aim is to have some bodies able to attack into a possible Bellringer that may come after. So I'm just trying to make it awkward for him to play any cards. Maybe another Civil is good to get some healing. Using the flute to get some dragons is cool, but if the 3/3 isn't on board so he can crush the first Phoenix, he can get any more value, and I'm not in that big of a danger. Here maybe an Worry Cap will be very bad for me, but I'm thinking that he may be not playing them in this version. So having two 3s on board that I may live longer. I know that he has 1 Feast, but maybe he has used a lot of the removal. I'm just kinda waiting, and if he plays a Bellringer, I can clear it. If he doesn't, I have an elephant in hand, the second one that I have been keeping since my first hand. So here the Phoenix crashes, gets 2 damage on one of them. I am down to 12, and he kills the May thing. Now he plays the second flute to cycle his draws a little bit, I think. Get some draw, another dragon, and at this point the board is pretty stacked. I know that he isn't able to play any ward left. he isn't able to develop any more healing, so I'm pretty sure that the elephant will kill him. And my only concern is that maybe some instant removal might kill the elephant if he is small enough, so I'm thinking about playing around the 5 damage spell that he already played some of them, but I think the Blast Breath is the name, or maybe that's the one drop. I mean the 3 mana 5 damage draw a card at this point on the game. So just thinking about what he could have at this point, what can he draw to get out of this, but I'm feeling good about myself just having this on the back if doesn't anything changes. He corrects just a play mistake that kills one of the Umamusume cards, and again 3 mana open, I have 5 cards in hand, so I could try getting a hit with Mei, but knowing that if I play elephant I just get enough damage and a big body that it doesn't die to removal, maybe 2 1-drop removals that he already played one of them on the first turn will be enough. So I'm just risking it for the biscuit, just getting 2 back to my hand and just buffering the draw of the Harvest Festival, so maybe I can get any 1-drops of my own, and 6 damage goes through, and it is the end of the match. Just Elephant doing his thing. I had some options open to maybe play a Sukuna, and we were talking a bit after the match on how I could maybe do it, but I wasn't sure that it was the greatest option, and just I think that the matchup is favorable for me. He didn't see any goodies, and there it is, the one that he needed at this point. Well, tell me in the comments, guys, what do you think, and until the next time,